Hello everyone, back to into today's video. We're doing the weekend forecast today, as we do every Saturday. Not much going on in the coming week, actually. Very quiet, late autumnal type weather in the coming week. So it's not going to be a particularly exciting forecast period. But nevertheless, we've got to do it, so we'll get on with it in a moment. Before we get on with the video, though, I just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my web videos at GazWebBiz.com. Please play those videos. You'll be supporting GazWebBiz.com by doing that. I also want to mention the websites that I'm using for this video. We've got the radar picture from the UK Met Office. We've got the charts from wetcentral.de and the weatheroutlook.com. All three of those websites can be found on my links page. So let's start off with the radar picture, because we had a very wet night last night across some southern and southeastern parts of the country. This is the latest radar picture from the UK Met Office. This is the new radar, by the way. The Met Office is trying to get everybody to use. I personally still prefer the old radar picture, but this is the new one. And we see it's still got some quite heavy rain here across this southeastern part of England. Slight and patchy though as we move up towards London, then up towards East Anglia as well. And then around these western coasts we've got some quite heavy showers showing up, the bright colours indicating the heavy showers. So those showers are actually wintry over the higher ground in the north. So have a look at the pressure chart for today. This is the situation today. I've got this area of low pressure to the north of Scotland, 980 millibars. This is really driving the weather. Brought a cold front across the country last night. That brought the rain. That's clearing away into the North Sea now. But as we saw on the radar picture, it's taking its time to get away from that southeastern corner. But it will push off into the North Sea this afternoon. And then really we're looking at a mix of sunshine and showers into the west. Mainly dry weather for many of these central and eastern parts of the country. Very few, if any, showers getting through once that rain clears. It will brighten up in the southeast. It's been a rather grim, cloudy morning, but it'll brighten up increasingly through the course of this afternoon. But always the best sunshine probably in the northeast, actually, with the showers coming into the west. Now it's cooler behind this cold front, so temperatures are consequently cooler today at around 4 to 6 Celsius in the north, around 8 to 9, possibly up to 10 Celsius in the south. 10 is 50 Fahrenheit. Overnight, that area of low pressure will move way up towards Scandinavia. Remember, we'll build this ridge of high pressure in from the Atlantic. A lot of clear and dry weather tonight, showers dying back towards the coast. Many places will be dry. It'll turn quite cold with temperatures down to 2 or 3 degrees in quite a number of places. That is low enough for a touch of ground frost, perhaps in some places, maybe in some air frost across some central parts of Scotland, with temperatures down to mine as well. And the temperatures do hold up better around the coast and in the southern parts of the country. Now going into Sunday, we've got this ridge of high pressure building in across the country, so a lot of fine weather on this Sunday, mainly dry but good sunny spells. Again, a few showers around the northern and northeastern coast perhaps, but really it's dry and fine tomorrow with decent sunshine. Temperatures on the cool side, just up to around 7, 8, 9 degrees for many hours, possibly up to 10s and 11s around those southern coasts. But really it's quite a cool day, and it will be quite cold again as it gets dark with the ground frost setting in. But then going into Monday, things start to change, and that's because high pressure is building to the south of the country. Low pressure is developing in the Atlantic. We're bringing in this southwesterly wind. There'll be a warm front as well pushing across the country. So although it starts off dry and fine with good sunshine in southern and eastern parts of the country, have cloud and outbreaks of rain heading into Scotland and Northern Ireland from the word go, and that cloud will spread down across all parts of the country through the day, although not really much in the way of rain coming into England and Wales. It'll just be turning cloudier through the day. We'll find the wind picking up from the southwest, but the temperatures will be lifting up in the north and the west, getting up to around 10, 11 degrees, maybe 12 degrees. 12 is 54 Fahrenheit, but in the southeast it's still quite chilly with temperatures there perhaps just up to 9 or 10 degrees, but milder weather is coming in, and by the time we get through to Tuesday we're all into that milder envelope of area. We've got high pressure building in from the east across England and Wales, but we've got low pressure still to the north of Scotland, and we've got a warm front here, or a weather front, strung out across the northern and west of Scotland and Northern Ireland. We have to keep an eye on this because the rainfall totals could really start to clock up in the northwest through the middle of the week. So certainly for northwestern Scotland, Northern Ireland, southwestern Scotland perhaps too, there is the chance of some very heavy and persistent rain through the course of the Tuesday. Elsewhere, we're really looking at a lot of cloud and mainly dry weather, light rain around these western coasts, but for many southern, eastern and southeast parts of the country, lots of dry weather, but very cloudy and rather gloomy. Temperatures will be on the mild side though, very mild perhaps in some places, possibly up to 12, 13, at an outside maybe 14 degrees. 14 is 57 Fahrenheit, so despite the cloud, the temperatures certainly will be on the mild side. But as we go in towards the middle of the week for Wednesday, we've still got that weather front string out in the northwest, so again cloud and rain, some of that rain quite heavy for northwestern and southwestern Scotland down into Northern Ireland. We do have to keep an eye on this for the risk of flooding, but the rest of the country, lots of dry weather and perhaps bringing in more in the way of a continental drift from the east, so maybe the chance of that cloud thinning and breaking to reveal some sunshine on Wednesday, but the temperatures will be taking a bit of a drop because this drier air will be cooler, so maybe maximums of just 9 or 10 for many of us on Wednesday, despite the fact there's more in way of sunshine. Going into a Thursday, and the high pressure is still there dominating to the south of the country, low pressure developing to the north, so again we looking at quite windy weather for northern and western Scotland with some rain. That could spread down into other parts of Scotland through the course of the day. England and Wales, a lot of dry weather, mainly fine with some sunshine coming through. We have to be looking out for mist and fog probably though by this point, particularly early and late on Thursday. Could be some quite dense patches of fog in some places, but mainly dry in the south, wind and rain coming into the north. High pressure still hanging on in the south on Friday, with the low pressure still dominating to the north. So again, we've got cloud, wind and rain for Scotland perhaps. Elsewhere, mainly dry weather with sunny spell. But again, we're looking out for mist and fog, particularly early and late. But some of those fog patches might linger on all day, but otherwise there should be some sunny spells in the south. Temperatures probably around 9, 10, 11 degrees. Outside of any lingering fog, it'll be colder if any fog does linger. To the north, we're looking at temperatures of around 9 or 10 degrees well, but of course at there it doesn't feel that mild because it's wet and windy. And going into next weekend, this is quite uncertain. So we may see the high pressure slipping away to the east of this area. If low pressure could come in from the west, so that could bring wind and rain across the country, although the other model, the East MWF, wants to keep high pressure going into next weekend actually, and by that time we really would be having to look out for fog, I think, if that was to develop, because the fog risk would increase really as we go into next weekend under that high pressure. But it's uncertain what happens next weekend actually. It could go either way. Finally, having a look at the charts from the weather outlook, and we've got the rain in the southeast clearing away into the North Sea today, with sunny spells, mainly dry weather, but showers around the western coast following. For Sunday, lots of fine weather really, good deal of dry, sunny weather, cold though early and late with a chance of a ground frost. A lot of cloud coming in on Monday. Southern and southeast areas stay mainly dry, but it turns wet up to the northwest, and quite heavy rain for northern and western parts of Scotland, and that rain is still there across northwestern Scotland as we go into Tuesday. We really do have to watch this potential for some very heavy rain in the northwest of Scotland. Elsewhere, lots of dry and fine weather, but a good deal of cloud. Quite mild though for Tuesday, or perhaps even very mild in some places. Perhaps more in way of sunshine coming through on Wednesday, but there's still that rain across the northwest of Scotland. Temperatures taking a bit of a dip though as cooler air filters in from the continent. Plenty of dry and fine weather on Thursday, although maybe some rain coming into the north of Scotland later. Have to be looking out for frost and fog though on Thursday morning, and again on Thursday evening, and the same is true for Friday. Again, there could be some rain up in the northwest Scotland. This doesn't show it, but it could turn wet and windy for Scotland. But elsewhere, lots of fine weather, but again we're looking out for that frost and fog risk early and late. So in summary, it looks like we see a lot of dry weather coming up in the next few days. We've got heavy rain for northwestern Scotland. We do now need to keep an eye on that. Northwest Scotland, Northern Ireland, Southwest Scotland at the risk of very heavy, persistent rain through Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe into Thursday as well. But elsewhere, lots of dry weather. High pressure really is dominating the weather. Quite cloudy and mild for the first part of the week, maybe turning brighter but cooler in the second half of the week as somewhat drier continental air starts to filter in. But we have to be looking out for fog, mist and fog patches early and late as we go through the middle and latter stages of the week. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.